right, my name's Rick Tagg. I've been working at Delaplane Cellars since August of 2016. I started in the Virginia wine industry in 2005, and I've worked at a couple of different places. Since I started in this industry, I've worked for 4 different wineries. I started at Cellars, and then an opportunity arose for a position at Keswick Vineyards near Charlottesville. That didn't last too long. I was driving too far. But some friends of mine were opening a new winery in Delaplane called Barrel Oak, and Sharon, the winemaker there, actually worked with me at Cellars, and I got to know her and her husband. So when they opened that winery, I had my foot in the door and actually started as their first employee in 2008. One of the great things about Virginia is that we're always working with each other, trying to lift everybody up. We have a very good support system at Virginia Tech and in terms of education. And we also have the WRE, which helps us a lot. We owe a great debt to the Virginia Tech, Tony Wolf, studying what grapes to grow and how best to grow them. If we hadn't had that, we wouldn't be able to make decent wine here. As far as the history goes, it's been in the past, I would say 20 years where we've actually gotten to the fact that we can get the grapes ripe enough, get the grapes decent enough to make decent wine, and had the training where winemakers could actually do it. One of the people that I left out in the first part of this was Jim Law. He started out also in the 80s, growing grapes, focusing mostly on the vineyard because that's where the grapes come from, and with his experience, his knowledge, his persistence in improving his quality, and his willingness to share it with us, particularly when I was coming up, made a big difference in terms of, especially this area, but in terms of Virginia wine grape growing. He also says that sometimes the most frightening thing to do is nothing. So a lot of times if you have an issue with something going wrong, whether it's winemaking or something in the vineyard or something like that, it's always the reactive thing, particularly for Americans, is what can I do to fix it? Sometimes the thing to do to fix it is nothing. Our team is tight and we all work very, very well together. If it needs to be done, it gets done, whether it's me doing it or whether it's the last person we hired doing it. We have a rule that if you think you can figure out a way to do something better, you share it with all of us. If you think you can do something better and don't share it with all of us, you don't complain about it. It's a blessing to have worked this many years and to have such a crew that we did. We bottled yesterday, nobody had to talk. Everybody knew exactly what to do, and it really shows. Hopefully, our goal down here for the vineyard and production crew is that as we get more and more experience, we make better wine. There's a lot of collaboration between all of us around here, and hopefully that makes better wine too. We need to promote this as a place that grows wine. That just like certain areas in Italy, people go to visit for the food and the wine. You connect that region to a style of wine, so that as I think that we find out what grapes grow best on our individual properties, that regionality sooner or later will be expressed, I hope. That we're not chasing after some kind of wine that's like something in Bordeaux or something in Burgundy, is that we define ourselves as a specific region with specific types of wine. That being said, we do need to be recognized as our own independent, this is a Virginia wine. It stands on its own. It's not like this, it's not like that. It's like the grapes and the wine that's grown in Virginia. Just by the grapes that you grow, you're defining your style. So if you're growing European grapes or French grapes, you're making a statement that we're making basically French wine, or we're emulating French wine that's made in the New World, which is basically California and the West Coast. Delaplane Cellars actually does have a very strong style, particularly in the reds. So we want to have our reds be approachable basically from the day we bottle them for 5 years. We're not making wines that can last 20, 30 years. The vintages don't support that. We don't usually have a tannin structure to support those kind of wines. For our whites, we'll play around with different vessels, different barrels, different tanks, different this and that. And then as a team, we'll all evaluate the wines together and then bottle them as it was. But we do have a consistent style. One of the great things about the diversity of our industry is everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a different opinion. And as I said before, is if you can glean a little bit out of every experience that you have, you can end up being a better winemaker. And that's all I've ever wanted to really do since I've been serious about being in charge here, is to make the best product I can.
Nestled on the western slope of Lost Mountain, Delaplane Cellars offers majestic views of Crooked Valley Run and the Cobbler Mountains. Built in 2008, Delaplane Cellars has 11 acres of red Bordeaux varietals Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot, as well as white varietals of Sauvignon Blanc and Petit Manseng. Located just an hour west of Washington, D.C. off Interstate 66, Delaplane Cellars is the perfect oasis to relax and enjoy a glass of wine while basking in the sunset views. Multi-tiered decks offer numerous vantage points to gaze at the vines on the slopes below. Self-guided tastings are offered to showcase the seasonal wines produced by award-winning winemaker Rick Tagg. Hand-picked artisanal cheese boards are available to pair with the wines, or guests are welcome to bring their own food and picnics as well. Many guests prefer to join the Discoverers Club, Delaplane's wine club, which offers a curated selection of 3 seasonal bottles shipped quarterly, a 20% discount on wine, food, and merchandise purchased on site, as well as a limited number of complimentary tastings each time club members visit the tasting room. I want to thank Rick Tagg for his time and insights on the Virginia wine industry. I also want to express my gratitude for the wonderful hospitality I was shown by everyone at Delaplane Cellars. I hope you will enjoy your visit as much as I did. I can't think of a better way to spend the day.